Many people living in Japan are unsure about their obligations when it comes to declaring overseas assets for tax purposes. As with many of the country's bureaucratic systems, this process is often unclear and complicated. And Japan's 5-year rule only adds to the confusion. The 5-year rule is a requirement for individuals living in Japan for 5 years out of the last 10 to submit an annual report to the tax office. If you have had residency in Japan for 5 years, you are considered a permanent resident for tax purposes. This means you have reporting obligations even if you haven't actually lived in Japan for the full 5 years. Reporting requirements may also apply to those who have substantial overseas assets or investments, regardless of their length of stay in Japan. This report, due by March 15th each year, should state the value of your overseas assets as of December 31st of the preceding year. In addition to this overseas asset reporting, there is another form for assets and liabilities reporting. This form must be filed by individuals with a gross annual income exceeding 20 million Japanese yen. However, if you qualify for overseas asset reporting, you do not have to declare the same assets twice. Instead, you will outline your overseas assets in your annual report. It's important to note that owning overseas assets alone does not create a tax liability in Japan. As long as you remain a resident of Japan and no gains are realized, your assets remain untaxed. However, income-producing assets are treated differently. Income from such assets should be reported as part of your yearly income. Additionally, if you leave Japan as a long-term resident with unrealized gains on worldwide assets valued over 100 million yen, you may encounter an exit tax. Fortunately, many people find the reporting burden to be nominal when using an accountant or a Japanese tax representative. So, what can you do to reduce your Japanese tax bill on foreign assets? The good news is that there are various strategies and methods available. Many people work with a financial advisor who understands international tax law to take advantage of these methods. Click the link in the description to read the full article and learn more.